I'm going to skip meals for a week and see if it actually helps me lose weight. Did you know that nearly 30% of people believe skipping meals helps them lose weight faster? But what if I told you that the truth is a bit more complicated? We're diving into what science says about meal skipping and weight loss. Stick around, because at the end, I'll share a game-changing tip you won't want to miss. From advocates of intermittent fasting to those who skip lunch for a lighter dinner, many people swear by meal skipping as a magic bullet for weight loss. But is it as effective as it seems? The increasing popularity of meal skipping as a weight loss strategy presents a double-edged sword. On one hand, reducing caloric intake by skipping meals seems like a straightforward way to shed pounds, given the mantra of calories in versus calories out. However, this approach is deceptively simplistic. Skipping meals often triggers a complex cascade of physiological responses that can ultimately undermine weight loss efforts. Metabolism, the body's engine for burning calories, does not merely operate on a linear scale. When caloric intake is suddenly reduced, the body can enter a starvation mode, where it effectively slows down metabolism to conserve energy. This survival mechanism, encoded within us from times when food scarcity was common, means that the fewer calories consumed, the fewer calories the body tends to burn. Moreover, skipping meals can upset the balance of hormones that regulate hunger and satiety, such as ghrelin and leptin. A skipped meal can lead to exaggerated hunger pangs later in the day, which can result in overeating at subsequent meals or indulging in unhealthy snacks. This cycle can lead to increased caloric intake overall, negating the caloric reduction initially sought by skipping meals. For many, this can also transform meal skipping into a psychological burden, manifesting as stress or guilt over eating habits. In addition to these immediate effects, there's evidence to suggest that irregular eating patterns might disrupt the body's circadian rhythms. These internal clocks are crucial for maintaining metabolic health. A disrupted circadian rhythm can impair glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity, complicating weight management efforts, and potentially increasing the risk for chronic metabolic conditions such as diabetes. Thus, while the allure of meal skipping lies in its simplicity, the resultant biological complexities illustrate a problem that requires a more structured and informed approach to dietary habits. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more insights into health and wellness with a touch of science and a sprinkle of fun. To understand the nuances of meal skipping, it's important to delve into the physiological and psychological mechanisms at play. At a basic level, our bodies are wired to store energy efficiently, a trait that was advantageous in prehistoric times when food scarcity was common. Today, however, this trait can backfire, particularly in a world where food is readily available yet often nutritionally poor. When we skip meals, particularly breakfast, our bodies can compensate by increasing hunger hormones like ghrelin. Ghrelin, often known as the hunger hormone, signals the brain that it's time to eat, which intensifies hunger. This often leads to the proverbial rebound eating, where the next meal becomes disproportionately large. It's not merely about eating more, it's about what we crave. Foods high in calories, sugars, and unhealthy fats. These cravings can derail a well-intended diet plan, pushing individuals towards unhealthy eating patterns. Psychologically, meal skipping may cultivate an unhealthy relationship with food, characterized by stress or anxiety around mealtimes and food choices. It may lead to a vicious cycle of trying to make up for a missed meal, resulting in overeating and associated feelings of guilt or failure. This can foster a detrimental cycle of restrictive eating followed by binging, a pattern commonly observed in disordered eating behaviors. From a metabolic perspective, studies have shown that irregular eating patterns can lead to a higher risk of metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that increase the likelihood of heart disease and diabetes. Skipping meals disrupts the synchrony between our internal clock, the circadian rhythm, and our eating routines, which can lead to insulin resistance over time. Our bodies are accustomed to a rhythm of eating, digestion, and metabolism, and disrupting this can have long-lasting effects on our metabolic health. Intermittent fasting, a structured approach focusing on when rather than how much you eat, contrasts with the random nature of meal skipping. When done correctly and under guidance, intermittent fasting might mitigate some of the metabolic risks by establishing a predictable pattern that the body can adapt to. However, it's crucial to differentiate between structured fasting and random meal skipping. The latter lacks scientific support for long-term success and often leads to detrimental health outcomes. In essence, the consideration of biological, psychological, and behavioral components underscores the complexity meal skipping introduces. The potential for adverse consequences necessitates cautious and informed dietary planning. It's this complexity that drives the conversation towards solutions that accommodate the body's needs, psychological well-being, and sustainable weight management. Here lies the crux of meal skipping. While initially appearing beneficial for quick weight loss or caloric reduction, it often spirals into a counterproductive cycle. The body's adaptive responses, namely the slowing of metabolism and heightened hunger signals, set the stage for a metabolic conundrum. Instead of maintaining or losing weight, individuals may find themselves in a plateau or even gaining weight, despite their intentions to do otherwise. This key moment of realization often dawns when long-term meal skippers encounter the inevitable weight loss hurdle. Their efforts stagnate or reverse. Research underscores this point. A study by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reveals how skipping meals can lead to hollow weight loss victories, as the metabolic inefficiencies created contribute to weight regain over time. This revelation spurs a potential turning point where individuals recognize the need to reevaluate their strategies, seeking methods that support both metabolic health and sustainable weight loss. Adding another layer, meal skipping's potential damage extends beyond the metabolic to encompass broader health risks. As metabolic health deteriorates, especially with disrupted insulin sensitivity, the cascading effects increase the risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, issues that are not just weight-related but critical to overall well-being. Yet this revelation is where hope is rekindled. This moment propels many towards more balanced, informed approaches, a shift from haphazard meal skipping to structured, adaptable eating patterns. By prioritizing meal structure, aligning eating patterns with the body's natural circadian rhythm, and focusing on nutrient-dense, timely meals, individuals begin to reclaim their health. Ultimately, the key moment signifies a pivotal pivot in weight management strategies. It emphasizes the importance of thoughtful, balanced, and science-backed approaches. The realization sparks a revolution in understanding how sustainable health practices not only aid weight loss, but resonate with broader objectives of well-being and vitality. Embracing this paradigm shift can be the catalyst for enduring health transformation. Remember, your body thrives on balance. Skipping meals isn't the good guy it sometimes boasts to be. Instead, it's the villain when it comes to sustaining long-term health. Focus on balanced, nutrient-dense meals, keeping your body fueled and your mind sharp. Now here comes that secret tip I promised. Instead of cutting meals entirely, why not redesign them? Think about portion control. Add more colorful veggies, or try partial fasting with guidance, the right way. If you have experience with meal skipping, success stories, or mishaps, drop them in the comments. We'd love to learn from each other. And if you found today's discussion enlightening, check out our video on creating healthy eating habits next. It might just have the inspiration you need to keep moving forward. Don't forget to subscribe for more health scoops that keep you in the know. Until next time, stay healthy and curious.